London is doomed, said Dr. Goebbels. And Adolf Hitler's intuitive propaganda experts claimed that in its first few days of attack last June, V1, the flying bomb, the robot bomb, the buzz bomb, had almost entirely removed the city of London from the war-scarred face of the earth. But soon even German propaganda changed its spots. Once again, the great, patient, enduring city of London was suffering. Suffering, but alive. You can sit back in your seat in this theater and see and hear V1, but you cannot imagine how London suffered.
So this is a World War II V1 site. This is for firing the V1 rockets at London, specifically for them. The huts to the left, there's 3 of them. They're absolutely massive. I'll put the drone up and show you with the drone. But they would have housed, I think they said 10 V1s at a time, and they would just take them out on rollers and push them up to the launch site. It's The site's name is called Bois de Huit Rues. It's located near Hazebrouck, and it's about 40 minutes from Calais. This is a V1 launch site set up in World War II. This was for the infamous V1 rocket. The time of recording was in December. The leaves on the trees had all fallen off, so it gives you a chance. When the drone goes up, you can see through the canopy, so you can see the size of the V1 storage bunkers. These storage bunkers aren't made out of your usual concrete. They're actually made out of blocks, which is quite unusual for the time, because a lot of the World War II stuff would have been made out of concrete. Under the time of recording, it was quite muddy underfoot, so it's worth having a think about the weather when you go to visit it, if you want to walk around the site a little bit more and just to try and go into some of the buildings, because it is quite muddy underfoot, especially when you come off the paths. You can definitely get quite a bit of waterlogged underfoot. Germany built a number of military installations, including launch sites and depots. Some of the installations were huge concrete fortifications. The Allies became aware of these sites at the early stages and carried out numerous bombing raids to destroy them before they came into use. Detected before their completion, the constructions were targets of British and American bombings as part of Operation Crossbow. In fact, no V1 missile has been launched from this base. In these woods you can visit the storage buildings, the launch ramp, the rinsing workshop, the shooting bunker, non-magnetic building for calibrating the V1s, shelter for the staff, you've got storage of detonators, you've got building for primary mountings, and you've also got the pumping station. Operation Crossbow was the codename in World War II for the Anglo-American operations against the German long-range reprisal weapons, otherwise known as the V1 program. The V1 rockets were built by Volkswagen in their factory near Hamburg. Between 13th of June 1944 and the 29th of March 1945, 10,000 were fired at England. About 2,500 reached their targets. In London, they're killing about 6,000 to 10,000 people on estimate and injuring thousands more. There was something like estimation of 30,000 of these V1s were manufactured. The German military hierarchy had different ideas on how to launch their new weapon. Huge bunkers, which would draw attention to themselves, or smaller, less obvious sites. In the end, Göring made the decision to build 4 large bunkers, Wasserwerken, otherwise known as waterworks, and 96 smaller bases. 64 of these bases were to be constructed by October 1943, whilst the remaining would be held in reserve. The V1 sites followed very similar design, allowing missiles to be brought in, stocked, prepared, and launched on a conveyor belt system. The base needed to be on flat land. Small woods were considered to be the ideal location for these V1 sites. The linking roadways between the bunkers were created using concrete slabs. The buildings for most part were constructed out of breeze blocks. There are usually 3 such buildings. They're 80 metres long, they're 4 metres high, they're 4 metres wide, and they're curved at the end for blast protection. From the air, they looked like their skis lying on the side. The design was so distinct that the RAF very quickly identified over 70 such sites, and Operation Crossbow was commenced in order to bomb them. There were certain similarities between the bases through necessity of preparation. There were bunkers to store chemicals for the catapult, hydrogen peroxide, potassium penangamate, and an anti-magnetic building constructed without any iron in it at all. This was the last building that the rocket passed through before the launch, and it was there the magnetic compass would be set. The entire flight depended on the compass working properly, and any possible interference had to be avoided at this stage. Because the time of filming is winter and there's no foliage on the tree, it's very easy when you put the drone up and there's been so much water that the bomb holes are full, so it can give you a bigger depth of the bombing raids that were conducted on this area and many of the others.